Yes, yes, season 2 of Oshinoko is a thing, and I have to say that if they didn't announce a second season, my gosh, would this impression be a whole lot different? Because yes, technically, it felt like half of this episode was really just building up the next arc. And so as I'm watching like half of this episode, I'm going, man, if they if they don't announce another season, this is straight up manga bait because we're opening up the door to the next arc, and we're not doing really anything else. But really good episode. The beginning parts, my gosh, was absolutely excellent. The performance was fantastic. Kana's development during that whole thing. We pretty much, this episode is in a nutshell. Kana's done standing by. Kana has her target. She's been renewed. She's ready to go after this one thing. I don't care about anything else as long as I can get this guy to look at me. That's where it was at, and it was super good. It was absolutely super good. The performance itself, the animation, how they played in the story beats within it itself, the music itself playing along with the emotion that was going on, that whole transition to her kind of acknowledging Ruby and what makes her special. Right then, the music kicking in, the guy in the the crowd kicking up. Oh man, it was just I'm getting ahead of myself. It was all really, really beautifully done. Just like I said, I think the later half of it is, yes, partly to see how everything sort of settles down after this whole arc, but at the same time, mostly just opening up the door to the next part. This idea of this, let's call it a love triangle that's happening between Aqua, Kana, and Akane, and how the next arc's pretty much going to be a battle between them. Battle between them. Literally in the stage play itself and in true form. So yeah, really, really great stuff. But no, let's dig through this whole thing as I've gotten ahead of myself here. But yes, the stage performance, really amazing. They kind of hit this idea that the stage itself is a hell pit. It's hellish. But they wanted to go see them because one of the members was really, really cute. And yes, technically I couldn't even imagine, especially in certain places in Japan during warmer seasons, summer or something like that. Oh, that's got to be absolutely horrible to be up on that stage. Thankfully, it's like it was towards the evening time, but even then, it's not quite cooled down yet. It looked pretty bad. They did know a little bit on the idea of seemingly a new character. I'm sure he's going to probably stick around, or at least somebody that's kind of there to show the difference between these two generations. Here's the old Bikomichi, and here's the new one. And essentially using this person to sort of note the idea that, yes, as per usual, Ruby is this sort of sign of what was once lost. Well, they lost I mean, we can go check it out. And he goes up there and he's like, nah, this is not Bikomichi. They don't have I, so it's by name only. And then suddenly, it was just so good. It was so good. Ruby notices Kana is not having fun. Notice that Kana is the only one with sort of a dull expression. And so she goes over there and tries to brighten up Kana. And the guy's like, oh, no, there it is. There is I right there. But no, I think with the core aspect here is Kana. She is up there. And of course, coming into this whole thing, it's sort of a little bit of a jarring aspect because the previous scene is Kana acknowledging, we're new. Let's go fail. That's what Ruby instilled upon her. We're new here. Let's go fail. I see a cute person that just started being an idol. Let's go fail. And then on the stage itself, Kana is quickly sort of back into producer mode, essentially. Oh, it's fine. We have a good crowd, probably because of Memcho. It's a bunch of Memcho fans. Kind of rough for her because she's thinking to herself, well, they're probably all upset because they'd probably rather have Memcho here than me. So I really shouldn't even be here. But at its heart, what hurts Kana and what Ruby sees is this aspect of she wishes she was being seen. As Ruby darts forward and tries to cheer her up and puts a little smile on and starts going crazy, she's like, oh my gosh, this girl's great. She's going to flourish. She's going to steal all these guys. She's the type of girl that excels. Essentially, the type of girl that I am not. I'm not the one that's bright and grabs people's attentions and steals people away. I'm the one that gets stolen from. I mean, that's kind of what we're getting in perspective of with Akane. Akane stole Aqua away from her. She's lost everyone. Her manager doesn't like her. Her mom has left her. Her fans have left her. Everybody has left her. She just wants to be seen. And she's willing to do anything to get that. And I think that was kind of the more heartbreaking aspect of this whole thing, was that kind of going through each of these moments and showing each of these moments and saying, I just want somebody to say they want me. For 10 years, I've been asking for somebody to say they need me. Even say that they'll make use of me. I'll be a workhorse for you. Just say that you'll make use of me. Praise me like you used to do. Tell me I'm allowed to stand right here. Oh, that line hurt. Let me exist, basically. Can I at least exist right here? Am I allowed to be here? Am I not good enough? Can I be right here? It's so heartbreaking. But yes, that all is fixed by Aqua doing the old same dance that he did for his mom with 3 glow sticks. Notably, the one that was white, which was Kana's, was alone in one hand, while the other 2 is just over here. So she got a whole hand to herself. But no, that dorky dance, which totally cheered her up. It was like, Aqua knew that's what she needed. Aqua knew that she needed a little bit of a bump. That's why he was doing the whole thing as, putting on the mask and everything. But that's enough to cheer her up, enough to make her go, what a dork. How can you be so straight-faced doing that? And why do you have 3 of them? Are you saying that you support all of us? What a cheater. But no, that comes down to, yes, sort of what this kind of bolstering of her confidence sort of shifted everything else away. I don't need to think about my mom right now. I don't need to think about my producers and stuff. I don't need to think about the crowd itself that have a lot of yellow glow sticks. This one thing. I'm going to make you fall in love with me. That's all she really needs. She has this focus that says, I don't really care about the rest of the stuff. I'm going to be your star. And she nails it. And it shocks. Yeah, we got to note the fact that it shocked Aqua. Aqua was shocked by that look. She captured his heart with her own style. And it wasn't necessarily that it was trying to emphasize it being I. He was looking up at the stage, and it could have easily been, oh, he's seen I again. No, he's seen Kana. And typically with a lot of occasions where Aqua is thrown off, he's thrown off because of I. He's thrown off because Akane is pretty much acting as I. But here he's thrown off by Kana. Kana is the one that's shocking him. Yeah, it's sort of wrapped up by this last little comment by the crowd itself, talking about how each one of them seems to have their own specialty, or they're stars from another group. They seem like they're stars from other groups. So you have Memcho, and you have Ruby, and specifically with Kana, was idea of how she is similar to what Ruby said, the type that otaku love. The type that otaku just love. But yeah, like I said, great performance. Like I said, the music cues, the transitions, the facial expressions. I love the facial expressions during the performance. This is why I like animators to avoid using CGI in performances, because you lose a lot of expression. Characters in anime are so much about facial expressions. It really does tell everything they're thinking without them having to have inner dialogue. Seeing Memcho, she's having fun. Ruby is having an absolute blast. She looks so happy being on that stage. I loved her expressions. And then, again, Kana in the middle was just, not that she was angry, just that she wasn't quite there. Her face wasn't there. She was just kind of existing there. And yes, troubled. But Ruby, again, sees that. And I love that brief moment where you see her look over, she's happy, and then she looks again and goes, wait, something's wrong. And then she fixes it. She kind of encourages, or she's trying to encourage her. It's really technically Aqua that ends up encouraging her, but it was just beautifully portrayed. Great songs, everything, fantastic. But yes, following this scene, we have this brief scene inside the car, which I thought was fantastic, because you have this, Aqua trying to search for some sort of praise, and he's like, yeah, you did fine for your first time. She's like, couldn't you give us a little bit more props? And he's like, no, I'm not going to do that. You have plenty of stages ahead of you. We'll worry about me praising you later when you actually do some better stuff. It's sort of saying that you're destined for more things. And when you get to that point where you're incredible, that's when I'm going to praise you like crazy. Otherwise, it's just going to sound like I'm repeating myself. It's going to sound like I'm lying. But no, the important thing in here is Mama giving a little bit of a nudge. Her talking about how the fact they're talking to each other again, and Memcho's like, oh man, they're not doing too well, are they? And she's like, no, that's not it. Mama knows exactly what's going on. So she decides to prod. How's Akane doing? Oh, I haven't seen her since the whole thing. Totally, Kana jumps on this so fast. Oh, finally it's clarified for her. It's just work relationship, which she uses later on, by the way. And it completely shifts everything. Kana's totally okay with talking to Aqua again, We have that whole scene with them together in the room, taking jabs at each other, just like they like to do. This is their chemistry, and it works so well with each other. Like Ruby puts, most people can't get away with that with Aqua. Things have changed in the past. He used to be okay with this kind of stuff, but now you do that, you're out of the picture. Kana just ripping into it was so great, though, because it's that whole aspect of, oh, so you wore a mask so that you could talk to me. Oh, now you're running away because now you're embarrassed that somebody called you out for wanting to talk to me. It was good stuff. But no, that's when we start. This is like, from right here onward is all second season. Like, we're just going to talk about everything that we're not going to get into until hopefully not too long the second season comes out. But no, there is a new 2.5D stage play performance thing that's happening, which is basically a stage play where you have a crowd and you have a stage and actors on it. But then you have all this kind of CGI and visual effects that happen on the stage itself to give a little bit more immersion to the fans. It's a very, from what I understand, a very BL fan-oriented thing. It's a lot of very pretty actors on the stage. They're very beautiful men that get on the stage, and that's usually kind of the audience for it. But it is interesting with this particular one. They're talking about this being based on a manga, very popular manga, and it's been adapted into anime, but it's going to be a stage play now. So it is something that is not necessarily geared towards the BL fans, but the BL fans do enjoy it and do make their ships. They're always gonna make their ships. But it has that kind of bleed fandom, which I always find interesting with a lot of these mediums, is this idea of how they try to blend in multiple fandoms to kind of get a broader audience. And it's obviously, at least what this particular company is trying to do. They're bringing in this manga to a stage play. And yes, obviously, we're going to get the entire cast involved. I'm just waiting for Ruby to get announced as well and bring in Memcho. But yes, Aqua is going to play one of the characters who is in a romantic interest with the heroine character. And then, of course, Kana is going to be playing as their associate. And they're apparently currently this ongoing debate as to which one he's going to choose. So obviously, they have to get the three of them on there. It seems quite convenient, but it also makes sense to sort of tie Kana in with Akane, because we find out that it seems like Kana and Akane have a rocky past, that Kana has taken all the old acting roles away from Akane, and Akane don't like her. But again, this is kind of where I assumed this was going to go. The moment that they talked about, okay, your next target to find out about your mother is apparently her origins at this one theatrical group, and that he was going to have to become a part of it and eventually go onto the stage and perform. I was kind of hoping for a little bit of a difference here, but again, I think the whole point of this series is to sort of show each one of these industries, while the through line is Aqua trying to find out the truth of his mother. So it's going to eventually explore every entertainment medium over time. But no, I did like the scene with Akane and Aqua doing their work date. And she ends up, I can't believe, I have to agree with Kana. I cannot believe that she actually posted that immediately. Kana just shows up and she's like, you're not supposed to post this stuff live. You schedule it. What if a stalker comes here? And here was the burn. You're going to get everyone caught up in your silly disputes again? You never learn your lesson. I was like, oof. I thought that was actually going to turn a lot more upsetting than it did. It sort of kind of twisted it into a comedic beat, like right following that, because it just turns into two of them kind of just nipping at each other. But damn, I think that wound's still a little bit too open, Kana. But again, Kana's not playing here. Kana wants Aqua, and Akane is standing in between her. But again, I don't necessarily see much relationship currently with Aqua and Akane. There is this idea that he was a little bit struck by her playing as I for quite a while, but I think he's gotten over that. I think he's resolved that in his mind. I mean, Akane can change that. She can change the perspective later on. But again, there's always this chemistry that Kana has. I mean, Memcho pointed out, Akane, you're going to have to work harder if I'm going to root for you, because Kana's got it. Akane, you have to step up. But no, they snip at each other about like work and all this other stuff. Oh, you sold your entire private life off for money. That's interesting. And then Kana turns around to walk away and is like, enjoy the rest of your work date. Like she has that in her playing cards now. She's going to keep pointing that out to Kana. You guys are just work dating. It's not a real date. But yeah, it kind of just wraps up the episode with kind of restating the whole goal here. Aqua is going to find the one behind his mother's death, briefly showing a little bit of that backstory again. They kind of showed quite a bit of the previous episodes content in this episode, kind of reminding us all this stuff that's going on. But a solid end. Like I said, it's a little like the first half of this episode is amazing, loved it to death. But the second half of this episode is like, I mean, I'd rather if you just cut off the episode and just leave this for like, I don't know, like an episode 0 for season 2, because it's just kind of building up a bunch of stuff that we're not going to really get anything out of it. Now, granted, a lot of the conclusions between Kana and Aqua and resolving that relationship was really great, but just all this stuff around the stage play and where they're going next is like, I didn't really need that. You're just baiting a bunch of stuff that I'm not going to be able to see yet. But that's fine. It's fine. It's still, the first part of it was a fantastic finale. Just the rest of it sort of isn't much of a finale. But definitely happy that we got a second season announced now. I really hate waiting for an answer, so at least we know now it's coming, and I cannot be more excited. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this the finale impressions of Oshinoko. I will be doing a review on this show eventually, so definitely stay to the channel and you'll get that here soon. Additionally, if you've been joining me weekly for my impressions, I greatly appreciate you guys for supporting the channel. If you want more content, I have first impressions coming for the next season. I'll be doing first impressions of all the shows this season, as well as doing reviews of some of the shows of the current season. Additionally, if you like this video, make sure to hit that like button before you leave. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought of the finale. Additionally, if you want to support the channel more and you like this content, I have a Patreon link, a tips link, super thanks, and membership button down below. I greatly appreciate it, but support the channel. You mean so much to me, and y'all take care.